Hey everybody, how is it going? Yeah, we are on our path to 3000. Less than 40 points remain. Okay, I can say check. He attacks my rook. I take his rook. If he take my rook, I push the pawn. He pushes the pawn. I make queen. He also makes queen. This is not interesting. What else can we do? So, I say check. He attacks my rook. I say another check, this time with a rook on f2 before I take his rook. He moves, I take his rook, and then I go to, and if he push the pawn, I go to f8 and capture the pawn. Okay, what else? I don't know. Let's see. Check, this check, take, go back, take. Okay, it was easy. I don't know why it is here. Sometimes you see new tactics. Let me tell you what else I thought about. I thought about this move sequence to go behind this. To take this, and he takes, and then I push, but this isn't good enough because I make queen, he also makes queen, and then I didn't see a check. Like if his king was like somewhere else, like on h5, it was good because I could say check at h1 and win the queen. But I didn't see any other check or to be able to capture the queen, and this was the row. So I immediately cancel this line and say that okay, I should have a rook defended, and this is the reason I put it here. Yeah, chase away the king and then go back to f1 and win the game. Okay, we got quite a few points, 8 points. Now what to do? Okay, if I take the rook, he takes my queen, and if I take the other rook with check, it doesn't bring much for us. So this might not be the solution. What else? I don't think I can take the knight, because if I take the knight with the bishop, yes, I have a backward bishop move. Awkward backward bishop. If I take the knight with the bishop, he will mate me in a second, right? Because he says check at f1, at f8 with his rook. I have to take back, and then he takes back with the queen and is a mate. Another option. What else do we have? It should be very forced move, right? I mean, my queen is under attack, I'm getting mated, and everything is bad for me. So it should be very, very forced move. Okay. Double thinking again for rook takes rook. Another option is queen takes rook, but this is very weak, isn't it? Because I don't gain anything. Like queen takes rook, takes back with the rook. So I don't get anything. One thing I've just noticed is that he cannot move his rook. So if I take the knight with the bishop, he just can't move the rook because it is pinned. Oh, my first thought was wrong. So I'm not in a very bad position actually. And what can I do? I can take the knight. Let's say I take this wild knight. It is very wild, yes. And still I have time to think. He takes back my bishop. He takes back my bishop with bishop. And then I bring the second rook into the attack. What can he do? I don't think he can do anything. Because before that, this f7 spot was occupied by his bishop. No, it is free. I can bring the bishop in, and I don't really see what can he do. Yeah, okay. I see what can he do, but no. Okay, he can bring the queen back, and if I take the queen, he takes my rook first, or what? He takes my queen, of course, and then I don't have any attacking chances. Okay, so taking queen sounds very bad because if I take the queen, he takes my queen back, and then what can I do? We end up in opposite color bishop endgame, and that's not super interesting. Another option is that I take his rook with the queen, and he takes back, and I take back with the rook. Is this any interesting? I have two rooks attacking his weekend king, and that looks good, but it's not necessarily very good. Another option, beautiful. I can take his rook with rook. If he take my queen, I say check with rook. No, it doesn't work that way. I say check with the rook. Then what? Then what can I do? Okay, I don't see any good move. I take queen. If he take my rook, I'm happy because then I simply say check and save my queen. So he is forced to take my queen for sure. And then really what? Is his bishop in danger? Like, if I take his rook and then take the second rook after he takes my queen, then I push like h5. Can I capture his bishop? No, bishop can run away to somewhere like a6. Either I should take the queen, or I should take the rook. Both of these moves are forcing moves, right? If I take the rook with whatever, he should take back. Either take my queen, or I should take my queen with whatever I take his rook, he should take my queen. Okay. This is somehow forced. But I don't see what's the next move. I take his rook, he takes my rook, I take his rook, he takes my queen, I take his second rook. With check, he moves the king, and I really don't see what to do here. What about taking queen again? I take queen, he takes back, and that's it. He takes back, and that's it. Then I take rook, first rook, and no, and he is safe. Okay, I think I should take his rook. I don't know what to do. Okay, but, let's see what was the solution to this tactic. I should have saved the queen. I didn't see this beautiful move. See this bishop move. I was thinking what to do with this bishop, and all the time I was looking at the g7 h8 a1 diagonal. I didn't notice h6 c1 diagonal is much better. Yeah, it was much better. This pawn on the e pawn was blocking my bishop pass, and I thought that bishop is just doing defensive task here, but I was wrong. Okay, here I think I should go forward with the king. He should do something. Yeah, moving forward with the king. King g6, and then if he push the pawn, I take, for example. I take? No, I don't take, I just push the other pawn. Yeah, I just push the h pawn. And he has not much choices. Like, if he take my pawn, I take it back with the f pawn. And if he take the h pawn, I take it back with the king. And now my king is in a good spot, I believe, and he cannot keep the opposition. So taking pawn for him is not an option. If he push the pawn, then my king runs away. And if he tries to get in with his king, then okay, yeah, I think that's the game. So h5 is the plan. Yeah, I think he cannot push the pawn, right? Okay, he takes. Okay, here is a little bit important. Should I take with the pawn or should I take with the king? I think I should take with the king, because then my king is in a good spot. Okay, here is the opposition. Okay. Taking that pawn is that bishop is not good. Sorry. Yeah, taking that bishop. I'm thinking about taking the bishop. Why I'm thinking about that? Because once I take the bishop, he can take my queen, of course, with his bishop. I take bishop with the knight. He can take my queen. And now if he takes my queen, okay, then the journey starts. I say check with the rook on h2, and his king goes up, and then I don't have the second check, right? That's not good. I don't have the second check, really? If I say check directly right away, I lose 2 rooks for a bishop. That's not good. So I take the bishop and he takes my queen. I get in with the rook and say check. He goes up there to f3. After he plays f3, I have no reasonable check, right? My queen is gone and I'm in a big trouble. What if I just play queen c6, because I'm threatening to push the pawn, and say check with the queen? Or what if I just directly push the pawn d5? The plan is that I push the pawn d5. If he take my knight, first of all, this d5 push prevents his bishop attacking my knight. If his bishop wasn't pinning my knight, I could have moved the knight and everything was okay-ish. It wasn't excellent, but okay-ish. Okay, another simple move that I didn't consider all the time is that just take the queen. And when he takes my queen, I take his rook. Or first I give him a check and then I take his rook. Let's do it. Oh, this was awful. First I check and then take the... awful. See? This puzzle, how could I solve it? This puzzle is like you should mate in like 3. How could I do that? For example, I don't know. You can mate always with king and queen. You can always mate. What is this? Is this a puzzle? Guys, vote to remove this puzzle and we will lose some points here. Okay, let's see what is the quickest way. It's somehow puzzle, what is the quickest way to mate, but it is not a real puzzle. Okay, queen f3 check. King has to move in, and it doesn't have many beautiful places to go. I think king f3 is the best. Otherwise, king e5 is also looking good, but not so good. It doesn't restrict the king because king goes to g4, and I should make another move to block it to come into f rank. So, but this is directly blocking it from coming to f rank. And then the next step is to bring the king in. Okay, I'm thinking about king e6, because king e6 forces him to not come to g6, because otherwise is a mate. Mate is coming sooner in 3 moves. Right now you should bring the king anyways. So there are only 2 options: e6 or the other one is the e5. e5 is not good because his king's sons, it seems that his king can run away. But e6, he goes to h4. He goes to h4. What can I do then? He goes to h4. If I play like f5, then it's a draw. If I play f4 with the king, is a draw again. Yes, f5 and f4 are draw. And I have no other king move, but I just can block his king from coming forward, like playing queen somewhere. So I think this is the move. And I have only one queen move, right? One valid queen move. And I have only one valid king move. And let's mate it. This was ridiculous. This was ridiculous puzzle. What's that? Today we didn't progress any. Yeah, because we played a little bit fast and we lost one lot of points in some puzzle, in one of the puzzles. Okay guys, see you next time, and report this puzzle. This is not a real puzzle, right? You can mate with queen and king anyways. It just wants to find the fastest mate. Okay, I don't know how to do what is the fastest mate, but there are like tons of ways to mate it. Okay, see you guys next time. Bye. See what was the difficulty of this last puzzle. Let's go to stats and puzzles. Not good. Okay, difficulty of this puzzle was 2962. Right now it's 2700. At the moment that I solved it, it was 2900. Can you believe it? Mating with queen and king is 2900 puzzle. Wow, such a joke. See you guys.